My name is Eugene Brennan, and I teach on the International Politics programme at the University of London Institute in Paris. Students interested in a wide variety of modern challenges should think about studying this course. It's called International Politics, but as you will see, you will study a wide range of disciplines as part of this course. Traditionally, the study of politics was confined to disciplines like international relations or political science. In our studies of politics in this course, we often draw upon sociology, philosophy, critical theory, all different citizens that really foster intellectual curiosity among students. The BA in International Politics is a new programme. Our first cohort of graduates came through last year. Many of them are going into postgraduate study, but some are looking to options for employment in areas like NGO work, state work, journalism, and a variety of different domains of private and public sectors. So students can study the BA in International Politics, or they can choose the BA in International Politics with French option. BA International Politics in French is taught primarily in English, but these extra modules in French allow students an immersive context in which to study French language, literature, history and culture, and allows them to improve their language skills in dialogue with their core studies in politics. One of the things that makes the Institute in Paris unique is its size. So the fact that we're a small institute gives students regular and close access not only to their fellow peers, but to lecturers and tutors. So this means in terms of learning environments, they get regular feedback on their coursework. And the forms of feedback they get vary beyond just in-class feedback. We're also an institute situated in the city in which, as we like to say, Paris is your campus. So while it's a small institute, you're located right in the heart of the city, and Paris is an extremely dynamic city with a lot of opportunities for students. We know that employers, for example, are very interested in the question of student experience, of adapting to different sorts of situations, of showing not only transferable skills, but adaptability and having been proven to thrive in different sorts of contexts. So it's a real kind of advantage on the job market going forward to study abroad in a space like the University of London Institute in Paris. But for students themselves, it's also an exercise in confidence building. Having taken that step and traversed that kind of initial challenge of studying abroad, it opens up all sorts of possibilities, all sorts of options for moving in different directions that students might not necessarily have been able to think about had they not had that initial experience of studying abroad at a young age. At the Institute, we have an academic tutor system. This means that each student is assigned a full-time lecturer to assist them in their academic development over the course of their degree. This entails regular meetings, which can check in about very basic things in the beginning, such as how do students get to grips with a new style of learning at university. As they progress then, the academic tutor system will focus on specific questions around study skills and assignment preparation. All this is a kind of key exercise in confidence building for the student. One of the key features I often emphasize is research. So research is often associated with postgraduate study, what studies students do in master's or doctoral study, but we teach research skills immediately from the first year of undergraduate study. One of the contexts in which they do this is the learning labs. They're obligatory classes throughout the 3 years of the program that offer an alternative learning space from the traditional lecture seminar formats. So normally you might have a 1-hour lecture accompanied by a 1-hour seminar. With the learning labs, instead, you have a 3-hour block. Now this sounds like a lot of time for students, but the purpose of this is to experiment with very different learning styles, to give the space to students to develop group projects, to do different kinds of activity like role-playing, debates, to participate in group presentations, to get more in-depth feedback from the lecturer, but also importantly to get feedback from each other. So throughout these learning labs, we kind of give the opportunities for experimental learning styles throughout the year, this is with the aim of each student building a research essay that they submit at the end of the year. Again, this is done in steps where students are supported each step of the way by lecturers and fellow students. They'll do a proposal on their essay at the start of the year, a presentation on the essay midway through the year, and finally, incorporating all of that feedback throughout the year, they submit their final research essay. In first year, students focus on the subject of non-state actors. This refers to a variety of actors beyond the traditional state elite actors that are normally studied in IR theory. So the question this module poses is, what can students of international politics learn by studying their topic via the prism of the sites? So when we say sites, we take a variety of different sorts of sites that are both physical, such as key streets in the city of Paris where a significant event happens, or museums, for example, that are the subject of very kind of contentious debates today, universities, but also metaphysical sites such as the internet, cyberspace, and these aspects of our contemporary world that are difficult to grapple with today. So a key feature of this module is that it really engages with the city of Paris, and students study sites in the city, but they actually go out and do field work. They conduct site visits and write up reports based on what they observe in the city. The material they study in class, whether it be theoretical or related to different theories of international politics, allows them to see how international politics is not just taking place out there in some distant space, but it's operative within the different sites of the city around them. My research focuses on critical theory. This is a field of research which is broadly concerned with the relationship between politics, philosophy, and culture. I focus in particular on the notion of crisis and how this idea of crisis might be helpful for theorists in understanding some of the recent tumults and upheaval we've seen in politics dating from the late 20th century. In particular, it looks at how recent ruptures in politics might relate to ongoing upheavals dating from the early modern period. For example, the symptoms of crisis, which might be recent for some peoples, might not be so recent for those who have suffered colonialism, racism, and other forms of division dating from the early modern period. The program is interdisciplinary and teaches transferable skills, so that we see as a real kind of advantage on the job market, in addition to the core research skills that undergraduate students gain.